apparently, as I'm told, special guest number 1.
I can't wait to find out who this is.
But there's for people who don't know how this works, there's a little board in front of me that has the phone number of whoever's calling in.
At times,
so
yes.
I'm being accused of logging the phone number into my phone to see whose name pops up.
Yeah, cross-referencing.
Which I was not doing.
Yeah.
Nor would I do. And you're looking at me like you don't believe me. Like I was doing. I have no idea who this is.
Just bring him in.
Special guest number 1. 95.7 The Game, Willard and Dibs. State your name, rank, and address.
Are you the kind of guy that needs to know what the prize is before you get it? You need to know, at Christmas time, don't wrap it. I want to know what it is before. Like, you ruin all surprises. What do you do, man?
I first of all, I love surprises. So, Steve, you do not need to tell me who you are, but I know now.
Hey, listen, and by the way, 50 is a new 40. Right?
Thank you.
You know that? Because I know that because 60 is a new 45.
Damn right it
is. That's how I roll.
Oh,
and, man, happy birthday. Happy birthday. 50's nothing. You're just warming up.
Steve Young, everybody, on the River Islands guest line. That means a lot. That means a lot.
You're the man.
No, Steve, you are. You're the man. But yeah, tell me all about it. How I'm still 40 years old.
Yeah, no, it does. Things change. Here's how I would explain it. Everything's pretty normal until 47. 47 is the spot. So you probably felt that a little bit, but then you're good for another 20 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it was when you could stop seeing. I couldn't. I can't see anymore at 45.
Well, not that, it's that, but then you can't play more basketball because you're going to blow your Achilles.
Right.
There's stuff that happens that you get cut off from.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. Move on. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, I've been going about 15 years after that. I'm good.
Dude, you're making me feel great. But let me ask you this. let me ask you this, because both probably tonight and tomorrow night, we are, my inner circle, we're going to end up in restaurants and bars that are dark. And when the menu is given to me,
you can't see it. Yeah. You get the light.
So what do you do without looking like an idiot?
Yeah, you have to go with the idiot move. Like, you have to have the look. You know what you could do is get a little pen light, like they use at concerts. You know, when they want to flash, or the cops when they flash in your eyeball. I just saw it on. I saw it on TV. But you have a little something, a little pen light that you just kind of like sneak out, put it down low, and then deal with it. The low light is a problem. I admit that. So just find ways, workarounds. Workarounds.
No, it's a good idea because I'm not carrying readers with me, and I feel awful when I pull out the phone flashlight. And it's too much, and everyone's like, dude, put your phone down. But other than that, all I can do is point. I'm like, give me that. What do you...
That's actually a sign how old you are, because on your keychain you have a little light, so you don't look like an idiot. So that's the beginning. So like there's the tells that you're an old person when you got a little light on your keychain, which I refuse to do. Like there's things you cannot give into. So I'm not saying that, but something in your pocket just in case you can't, like, it is low light. You got a problem.
Okay. All right. And then the only other thing that hit me a little bit this week, and it happened 2 days before my birthday, is that AARP thing showed up in the mail, which I thought it was rude that they sent it to me before my birthday. But how'd you handle that?
Disrespect. It's fully disrespect. Straight to the trash.
So you didn't join for $16 a year?
Denial. Access denied. Straight to the trash. I'm not falling for that. You can't lure me in. Like, send it to some other 40-year-old. I'm out.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to pre-enroll you. Steve, I'm between your age and Mark's age, and I am at a point now where sometimes when somebody asks me how old I am, I have to do the math. Are you in that same spot where there's times when you don't remember if you're 50 whatever or 60 whatever?
No, I have to remember because I'm in denial about it. So I have to know what I'm denying, right? Like I have to, because I really do believe. My dad, when he's 89, he's fired up. He's going great. He's doing really well. And I see him, and whenever I talk to him, he's like, "You can't let the old man in. You can't let him in. Don't ever let him." And so I think there's something really serious about that. Like, I refuse to do things that age me, and physically, emotionally, mentally. Like, and people can say, "Oh, you live in a Pollyanna, or you Pollyanna." I'm like, no, I'm just not going to open the door. And I think there's something to it. Not that you're a fool. Not that you're someone that's like can't face reality. No, it's just like you have to battle the years. You have to in every way. And so, and because it is a battle, anyone who's getting older, like, man, it's a freaking battle. Might as well fight.
Dude,
part of fighting it is just like not like, no. And I think I'm looking at my dad, like he's a generation ahead of me. He's gonna get into his 90s and he's doing good, but I think our next generation can make 90 look like 78, today or something like that. I think that's where it's trending. Might as well be on the cutting edge of that.
I love it. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning to go run the stairs just because I was like, watch me. Why? I'm still running the damn stairs. Yeah.
No, I run.
Yeah.
I run I'm at a celebration every third, fourth day. Go out for a nice 4-mile run. I'm still doing it. Let's go.
I'm not surprised. The great Steve Young here on Willard and Dibs. All right, enough about my stupid number. What's going on with the Brock Purdy situation? How's this all going to end out?
What? Wait. Is there new news that I missed yesterday or today? Like, I've been a little out of it. No, nothing new. Nothing new. I think you watch the playoffs and you watch a guy like Jaden Daniels, who every time he touches the ball is threatening the line of scrimmage. Doesn't mean he does it, but it's a threat. And when you can deliver footballs and be a sophisticated passer, and every time you touch it, you're threatening not only the line of scrimmage, you're to be able to just attack 40 yards down the field. And so Brock, we've said this 1,000 times, his superpower is processing, and he can process better than almost any. I wouldn't put him against anybody. But he's not going to be running around like Jaden Daniels, so he needs to figure out ways to make up for that. And some of those ways, if you're a great processor, is give me more opportunities coming out of the huddle, the play that's called, that are open. Give me guys that are open because I can process and find them. And so give me, that's why having, 5 or 6 guys out of the huddle last year, the year before last when we went to the Super Bowl, we were leading the league in yards per attempt behind the line of scrimmage. We had people open all over the place. We were threatening all over the place. And Brock fills all of that up. So all I'm saying is I don't know the ins and outs exactly of what we can pay, what we can't, what matters. But if we're going to be in the Super Bowl, we need to be laden with talent. And I'm sure that's obvious for every other team. But we have to have just extra people to make sure that we give Brock Purdy every chance to go win us Super Bowls. And I think that's the combination, that's the calculus that John Lynch has got to figure out. He's got to figure out how to, get Brock on board and then also make sure. And look, that might mean we can pay Brock 60 and still go get all the guys. Fine. Look, you guys probably know more than I do. What I'm saying is whatever that magic is that needs to happen to make sure that we hold on to all pro talent all over us. Every quarterback in the league needs tons of help. And Brock needs every inch of it to be, in the Super Bowl again. We'll be playoff teams. I think we'll always be. The window's open. It's never going to close. But to actually go the distance, you see week to week. Look at Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Look at, it's just you can see where the game is going, and we got to meet it there.
Does Brock have the skill set to maybe do a little bit more of that, Steve? Because I watched this year. And
I believe so. I said during the season a couple of times, I think Kyle should call RPOs for Brock. We should put him on the run out of the huddle where he's going to carry it. The threat that he needs to bring, look, we understand the processing power, but that's the game today is there's free first downs with the legs, free touchdowns, and especially in the fourth quarter. So I would like to extend what we saw a little bit more as a nifty Brock Purdy this year. I thought it was cool. I thought it really mattered, but I'd like to see more of it. And so maybe what you guys have said back to me is, look, Steve, don't worry. We're gonna lean into it, and he can do, 80% of what Jaden's doing on the with his legs. He can do 90% of what CJ's doing or Josh is doing, and if that's the case, then great. I'm all in, and I think you got to call plays for it. You have to threaten the line of scrimmage every time if you're going to go to the Super Bowl. It feels like obviously into the future you have to have a quarterback that's going to threaten the line of scrimmage 84 times they take the ball in their hands. And I every time I watch the playoffs, this playoffs reminded me of that truth again. And Brock I think you guys are right. I think he can do that. Puts him at risk more because the ball's in his hands at the end of the play more often. That's risky, but I think it's got to happen.
Hey, Mr. OG running quarterback, before we watch Patrick Mahomes again this weekend, what do you think of this whole running around and then sliding underneath the defender right before he gets whacked in the head to draw this? What's the deal here?
think about the presence of mind that Patrick had when he first came out of the league. It was outsized immediately. I remember I covered him on a Monday night game in Denver. It was his first start. And he literally was running left, full speed. Everyone's chasing him, all the big guys, all the speed in the game. And he's surveying the field. He's in his backyard, checking things out. And right at the end, thank you. Right at the end, he kind of, takes the ball in his left hand and throws it lefty for a first down. And I'm like, wow, that the presence of mind that he has. So what he's done is, as he's gotten older, he toys with it. You can be mad about it. You can think that he gets special. I think he draws people in. I think he fakes them around, and then he gets you in trouble. Look what happened last week when he went down and he got, two Eagle guys. I mean, who was it? Was the Eagles? It was, who was he playing? The Texans? Was the Texans?
Yeah.
Anyway, they actually, the two Texan guys, he waited, and then he ducked as he kind of semi-slid. Now the referee's like, oh, is he sliding? I have to protect him a different way. Oh, I'm not sure what he's doing. And then two Texan guys smash each other, literally into each other. It would be a foul if they were on the opposite team. They don't touch Patrick Mahomes. He slips underneath it, and he gets the penalty flag.
And the penalty. Yeah. Yeah.
Believe me, I do not. Referees get graded. They get nothing for being nice to Patrick Mahomes. They get graded at the end of every game. They will not see a playoff game. That call against the Texans will cost the official when they do the grades because he didn't actually get hit. But that's Patrick. He is so present that he's kind of toying with everybody. He's doing funny, cool stuff that it irritates you. It can be like, oh, he's just trying to lure us in. He's like a kid down the street that says, that they find a hole in the ground. So let's jump in. We can go to China. Like, no, bro, we're not following you. That's insane. I'm not doing that. But he's that kid that, lures you into stuff and he knows how to make it happen. So I think he'll continue to frustrate officials because they make mistakes. He'll frustrate defense and the people who watch who can't stand Patrick Mahomes anymore because he's so successful, or the Chiefs because they're so successful. It'll just, it's not going to stop. The dude is that self-aware, and he's having fun out toying with defenses.
Steve, you are such a gentleman. Thank you so much. And when I turn 60, we start that lounge singing act, okay?
Yeah. Okay, Mark. You got the voice. You got the voice for it, bro. And I told you that. Don't try to lure me into it.
Yeah.
You're not Patrick Mahomes, bro. You're not going to lure me into it.
No, I'm going to need some name value for my act. I can't just go out there with me. I'm going to need you.
I could do the background. Boom, 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 boom. And then you could sing, okay, bro? I can do all the sound effects.
Perfect. We'll work on it, man. Thank you for calling
Happy
in,
birthday,
Steve.
bro.
Thank
Happy
you.
Birthday, man.
Appreciate you.
See you, boys.